Well. Here we are. We're back. That seemed to go pretty well. Okay, so you guys, we do not have Whiskey Barnett Jr. in the house today. So if we have issues, we have issues. So, so you guys are gonna have to tell me if we are too loud, if we are not loud enough, if we're getting. If we're spiking, if we're blowing out everybody's eardrums. What are you getting? You guys, thanks for checking in. I see a few of you guys, the old Wombat Annihilator, still one of my favorite freaking usernames. Are you guys getting, what kind of sound are you guys getting there? Is it super loud? Sounds pretty good? Not too loud, not too quiet? I did notice that last week's live, when I went to go and post it on YouTube for the replay, the sound was really quiet. So I cranked things up to what I think is a reasonable sound level. But if you guys are getting any maxing out or anything, just let me know. So I have a box. I got a box I'm going to open up. I actually got a shipment. I know who it's from and where it's from, but I really do not know what is in it. We're going to open that up. I did get some questions on Instagram that we're going to answer. If you want to put your question on Instagram, on the Instagram stories, I put out a tile, and I'm going to start to get ahead of this a little bit more in the future too, where you guys can ask questions, and I will answer them live. Mike says I should probably create a new username to match my TikTok and IG so you know who I am. Mike, is that Mike like that we went in Texas to the Whiskey Vault with, Mike? If it is Mike, I think that was your last name. Yeah, you guys, it is. What's going on, Devin? It is a problem with TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Everybody having different usernames, them not matching. Like I know that Just One More Bourbon is Devin, and Devin, I think you're Just One More Bourbon everywhere, but that's not true for everybody. Some people's usernames change place to place, so it is a little bit to keep up on. So I don't. What is everybody drinking tonight? You guys in the comments, be sure you hit the like. I am still trying to figure out. This whole YouTube thing, the one mystery that I've not got figured out yet. No, Locked Barrel. Oh, hey, all right, Mike, right on, man. Listen, we have about 8 mics that I can think of, Mike. So I know which one you are, Mike. Good, thanks for coming, man. Steady working. Got my Turkey 12 from the shop this week on the dot, and absolutely love it. Thank you, you guys. Thank you for ordering from the shop. Yeah, it's really cool to see people posting. If you guys get an order from Bonnet Bottle Shop and you have an Instagram or something, please post it and tag me. I love seeing that. Oh, we're drinking Green River Full Proof, 1792 Full Proof. I got some experienced whiskey drinkers in the house tonight. As I was saying, I don't really understand how YouTube pushes out the live or how people see it. It's not recommended like on TikTok, so I'm not really sure. So you guys tell somebody. I'm going to start getting better about scheduling them and posting earlier so that people can find it easier. I'm also trying to figure out what's off camera and what's on camera here tonight. Drinking Foggy Barrel Batch 2. Foggy Barrel, let's. I'm going to join you in the Foggy Barrel. I think I only have Batch 1 here. Nope, Batch 2. So, Mike, I'm going to join you and drink a little bit of the Foggy Barrel Batch 2 right now. You guys, I'm excited about a few things. I've got some more tequila stuff coming, which I'm not going to mix in a whole lot of tequila. We're not going to become tequila bonded, but I'm realizing that one, I love tequila, and I think a lot of you also like things other than whiskey. So we're going to see a little more tequila content. I'm also going to be adding a lot of new stuff to the shop, including a lot of tequila. 4-Leaf Whiskey. How are you? That is fantastic to see you pop in. YouTube hides this stuff from me typically. YouTube does not have a, you got to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Thank you, Devin. Said like a professional. YouTube does not, that's the disadvantage with TikTok and that YouTube has is it doesn't, TikTok was like shoving it in people's faces. YouTube doesn't really do that. So we're going to have to stay on schedule. I'm going to have to try and get somebody to let you guys, notify you guys. We're going to maybe put it in an email or I don't know. I'll figure it out. I liked the ECBP 924 the most out of them all this year. Gone through 2, honestly. Agreed. We were talking about that in the after party on the Discord for the patrons. And Rick and I broke into it the other night. I think it was just Rick and I talking. I don't know how that happened, but it's very rare. I'd love to get on the live Discord calls more often. It's just really hard for me. The Elijah Craig Barrel Proof 924. was the best of the year. It was also one of my recent favorites, and I don't know if anybody else was talking about it, but I got to tell you, for me, I actually really loved the 924 because if there's a knock against Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs, they can be a lot to drink on a normal basis. They're not pleasant or easy or light. They're complex. They're bold. They're delicious, but they can punch you in the face a little bit. Sometimes it's been a long day. I don't want to get punched in the face. Heaven Hill Grain to Glass. Yeah, we actually put Heaven Hill Grain to Glass in the bottle shop. I'm not super excited about the price, but it is not that bad. It's just a hair above what I would really like to sell them for, but at least we can give access to it, except for the weeded. I could not get the weeded for a reasonable price. Do not ask me why. I do not know. They wanted way too much for it, so I didn't do that. A 4-leaf, 47 days to go till St. Patrick's Day. We're warming up. We're warming up for St. Patrick's Day, Slancha. I can't wait. I can't wait for St. Patty's Day. Having a little 1792 sweet wheat. Yeah, I love the sweet wheat. That's one of those ones that's a little hard to get. Some places it's impossible. Owen likes to get punched in the face. When I see you in Kentucky in March, just remember that you said that because I'm not going to warn you. You said you wanted it, so I'm just going to let you have it as soon as I see you. That's always delicious. Man, it's so sweet. A Fenner, you can thank Biden for the high prices. That's kind of true. I mean, he was president for the last 4 years. So I got this box. Let's just get into this box. Why not? Corey, recommendations on a good rum. Got a friend who really likes rum. Want to get a decent bottle for her to try. If you want a really good rum, there's a Foursquare one in the shop right now that's killer. Rum is one of those things that for me, it depends on the kind of rum you like. I like a Dominican or a Jamaican spiced rum. I don't think you have to have spend a lot of money on rum. Oh my God, I'm going to blank on it. You guys are going to have to help me right now. On the rums, there's an estate. Oh my God, I'm blanking right now. Let me open this while I'm thinking of it. You don't have to spend a lot of money to get a good rum. You just want one that's got a little bit of age on it. I really like the Zacapa 23 only because it's got some age and it's not that expensive and it's really easy to find. It's not the best rum in the world, but it's a very good rum and you'll be able to find it anywhere. You know, it's like the Johnny Walker Blue of rum, but not as expensive. Okay, I'm going to open this box. This box actually comes from Heritage Distilling, right? You may know the name, but it's out of Gig Harbor, Washington, so I have no idea. They're Appleton Estate. Thank you, Owen. Why did I know you'd know that? Yeah, good Jamaican spiced rum, Dominican rum. But you can get white rums or less spiced rums. I like the spiced rums or aged rum because you get a little bit of that same barrel influence and aging influence that you get on whiskey that I like. What was the name of the rum again? Sorry, missed. You want so you can get Appleton Estate rum. They've got some good aged ones. Zacapa 23 you will find everywhere. I only know that because I'm a fan of making old fashions out of that when we were in Mexico. It's got some age on it. It's sweet, but not super sweet. It's just a really delicious rum because of the age, and it's really not very expensive. I can't remember the price on it. Someone Google. I got my phone. I could Google it, but this is the advantage of not doing these on my phone anymore. I can use my phone to do things. Got a bottle from the Dominican Republic on my shelf now that my dad got it for me. I like Dominican rum. How's that mini barrel doing so far? So here's the thing. Here's the mini barrel. Yeah, Appleton is solid. Daddy, you're 20 minutes from Gig Harbor. Do you know Heritage Distilling? I'm going to open the box. I'm building suspense right now. Maybe. Burbo. Look at the boys all talking to each other. Foursquare is good. Price your plantation 5 stars good. Yeah, we have a Foursquare limited release in the shop right now. It's over $100. It's supposed to be really amazing. I honestly have not tried it, but I got it good enough on good enough information that I put it in the shop. We're going to grow the shop right now. I'm not going to be able to try every single thing, but most of the things in the shop are still going to be things that I've tried and or things that you guys asked for and or things that I get under good advisement from somebody. Like I'm consulting on some of the tequila stuff, but you guys watch over the next week or so. I'm going to drop a whole lot of new stuff in the shop. Well, look at that, a card from Special Operations. Hopefully this works because I changed the focus on the camera. You guys, I'm waiting. There's a delay on the camera to see. Oh yeah, it focused on the card. Look at that. Special Operations from Heritage Distilling. This is going to go along with a question that I got on Instagram that I actually want to answer about doing the content thing. Look at the packaging. Holy crap, you guys. Okay, live moment here. So the mini barrel Oh yeah, Mike, you're doing the mini barrel with the vanilla. I'm nervous for that, man, because vanilla can be very strong. No, so the mini barrel, I've got the rum in. I'm gonna let it age for a little bit. I should have thought this out a little bit longer and just shot the content over time and then compiled it and released it more quickly. But I'm gonna let it go for a couple of weeks because it is not warm right now, and I don't have floor heaters or any way to really heat it up other than I guess I could put it in the oven, but I don't think that's advisable. Okay, this is interesting. Should I open the card? Yeah, I'm not going to open the card first. Wrapped in black tissue paper. I honestly do not know what this is. The mini barrel, you guys, if you haven't been paying attention, I put regular old rum in it. I'm going to leave it sitting there for a couple of weeks until, one, the rum starts to get some color from the barrel char, and which I think will be interesting in itself. And two, when it starts to do that, I'll feel like the rum is soaked into the barrel a little bit, and then I'm going to take it out. I'm going to put a rye in there. I think we're going to go with bent rye. Because it's spicy, I think it would go well with the sweetness. Oh, I know what these are. I'll show you guys in a second. And then I'm going to dump that out, and I'm going to fill the barrel up with port. And then I'm going to do some more bent distilling rye, and then I'm going to try and blend them into something. That is kind of my idea of a simplified Sakar blend, and hopefully not botch the shit out of it, and hopefully it'll be good enough to send you guys out samples for the patrons anyway. The patrons will get sampled. If it's good, the patrons will get all of it. I'll send it all out in samples if it's good. If it's shitty, it won't happen. That's why I'm sampling it in the week. Oh yeah, drinking some Wild Turkey 70th anniversary, fantastic bottle. So you guys, this is something that I did. I will tell you if this is any good or not. I do not know, but this is one of those things I did because I like the message, I like the cause. So this is from Salute to America, the Salute to Service bottles. I put the War Dogs one in the shop when we originally opened it up. It's a little expensive and it sold okay, but this is one of those bottles that, whether it's good or not, I think it's a good thing. This is the Battle of Iwo Jima. It's a 5-year, 105 proof. I'm going to put it up there and hopefully you guys can see it. You'll have to forgive me. It's hard for me to know. It looks like it's focusing, but it's hard for me to know until I get it up there and then the camera adjusts and there it goes. It did. Okay. Very, very cool. Obviously military themed. I just think these are really kind of neat. Let's see what the other bottle is, because he was sending me something else and he didn't tell me what it was. Yeah, consult Nancy Fraley for my cigar blend. I would not dare call it a cigar blend when talking to Nancy Fraley, because I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm gonna age it, and hopefully I'll have 2 decent products, and then I'll be able to blend them together, and I won't botch that. I hope. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Here's hoping. So let's see what the other bottle is. He told me he was sending me another one. Didn't tell me what it was. Oh, it's the War Dogs edition. So this, I may keep this and not open it. Just because I love this War Dogs bottle. This is so badass. I put this in the shop when we originally opened, just because I thought the bottle was so cool. I love dogs. Let's see if that thing will focus since it's focusing. It is not focusing. Oh, there it goes. So I just love the war thing. I love the military thing. I love the dogs. I just think it was so freaking cool. If you bought one of these, thank you for doing that. They do give to service dogs for every bottle that you buy. I don't know. I'll have to check and see if it's still in the shop. If it's not, maybe I'll put it back. But very cool. Thank you, Heritage Distilling, for sending that. I'm sure they're not watching. What are the odds of them being one of the 25 people that are watching? Thoughts on Horse Soldier whiskey bourbon overall? I appreciate and love the cause, but haven't tried their stuff. I like the Horse Soldier cast strength. I actually do have the Horse Soldier cast strength. I've done a review of that. I like it quite a bit. I do love the tie, the military theme, and those guys. But it actually is good. The barrel proof is actually good. I'm really curious. Has anybody had the Horse Soldier limited edition one that's like $300? I'm really curious about that. I think it's a 10-year, but it's really expensive. Kitsap Whiskey Society. Okay, so these whiskeys honor the tens of thousands of Marines who fought in the World War II Battle of Iwo Jima 80 years ago, and the service, loyalty, and sacrifice of America's military working dogs, respectively. We hope you enjoy these special editions. Cheers, the Heritage team. Very cool. A handwritten letter with incredible penmanship. That's a really cool thing. This is, You guys, this is one of those really cool perks about doing this content thing. You get to meet some really cool people. People in the whiskey world are extremely generous and passionate about what they do. I just realized that this one's got a dog paw on the top. That's really cool. My wife's going to want that one. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate it. You guys, when you do those little donations on there, I really appreciate that. I turned off monetizing today so you guys wouldn't get interrupted by the commercials. So please, if you guys are feeling generous to gift something, but don't feel like you have to do that. What is going on? Michael Whiskey Mathan Durg. Holy crap, that's a long name. But do you think Remus Repeal 8 is worth $100? Yeah, actually do. The 8 is good. The 5 was really good. The 6 and 7 were like, yeah, and then the 8 is back. $100 is a little bit much to pay for it, but I think 89 is MSRP. You're right there. So yeah, I think so. I would have told you on the 6 and 7, but on the 8, I think it is. People are loving the Horse Soldier Barrel Select. Oh, your Kitsap Whiskey actually has done some stuff with barrels. So let's go to these. Let's go to the questions here. I wanted to do these because I put up on Instagram Live. We don't have a guest today. We're hopefully going to do that next week. Bonda Jr. is out of town for work, and he didn't get a chance to set that up. But hopefully next week we will have a guest from the patrons on the Discord. Did I find the Dancing Panda 8-year? Eli, I did not. I looked into that a little bit. I have not been able to figure out where the hell that comes from. You guys, finding a new product when I don't have a contact at the distillery is kind of difficult because we have our retail partners, but then they don't know who the distributor is. They got to reach out to the distributors. It's not like it's one distributor. So the retail location doesn't have one distributor. There's a ton of them. And then if we could reach out to the company that makes Dancing Panda, but then they got to know who their distributor is for California. A lot of times there isn't one, or they don't know that. It's you guys. It's a total freaking mess. I see Owen said, we have to set a time up so we can go over best of the briefcase and Solera bottles. I just got them. So Owen, we're gonna maybe do that next week. I don't want to say this yet. We may do that next week with Colby live on the YouTube. We may jump back over and do something on the old TikTok just for the exposure. We want to get the word out there about Kitsap's picks. I've not had either yet because my personal shipment got jammed up because of some bottle issues. So it's not just you guys; it's just part of the game with the whiskey bottles with the shop. As soon as I get them, I have full confidence they're going to be amazing. Colby has an unbelievable ability to pick stuff, and let me just say this unilaterally: if Kitsap Whiskey puts something out, it's safe to buy it. Buy it; it's going to be good. You're going to like it. I can't wait for the Old Elk. The Old Elk is going to be killer. Owen, stop it! You don't have to do that. Oh, really crazy username. What's the best bottle of whiskey if Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond is my favorite? Oh my goodness. Well, obviously, you guys, I'm having a really hard time thinking today, so I'm gonna need your guys' help with that. It's been a long day. So Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond. One thing about Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond is it is actually a very easy, very on message bourbon. It doesn't get out of the box a whole lot. I don't know if you've tried a Laser Craig small batch. You might try that. Heaven Hill, if you want to punch it up a little bit, but Heaven Hill is also, Elijah Craig is also Heaven Hill. You could try moving over and trying a Larceny that's a wheatage. You may or may not like the funk on that. The things that are most like Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond to me are the Redwood Empire offerings. You can get the regular standard Pipe Dream or even the 101 if you want to take the proof up a little bit. Very similar in that they've got a moderately low rye mash bill. They're a standard bourbon. They lean a little bit into that sweetness. Not a lot of oakiness to them. But those are good ones. If you can get your hands on a 1792 small batch too, that would be a good one to move to try something a little different, but in that same echelon to see what else you like. What do you think Standards Blanton is worth buying? Oh, so what do you think Standards Blanton's is worth buying? I'm assuming at price. Keep finding it at MSRP and just curious if there are more available these days. Yes, there are a lot more Blantons available these days. MSRP, I believe, has moved to $89. It keeps going up. I still think a Blanton's is worth buying. Don't lose your mind. $80-$90, it's still worth buying. I like it. It's delicious. I don't really buy them anymore. I do buy the straight from the barrel whenever I see them for MSRP, though. That's one I still love. How much flavor with the much more flavor with the increased proof? Yeah, Mike nailed it. Working daddy working. The Blanton's mash bill that makes up the Hancock, Rock Hill, that lineup with the Blantons and the straight from the barrel and the gold. The higher the proof, the better it gets. So for me, Hancock lowest proof, the worst. straight from the barrel, the best. And they literally go in order. So Blanton's, then Gold, then straight from the barrel. Everything down from there. Rock Hill is the second highest proof before the Blanton's Gold. So I think it's, you're going to tax my memory. It's straight from the barrel, Gold, Rock Hill, Elmer T. I think it's Elmer T. Blanton's, and then, or Blanton's Elmer T. and then Hancock. The Elmer T. is delicious. Hancock, I'm not a big fan of the Hancocks. I've got a bottle someplace that's still, it's got a little tiny bit out of it, and I just sealed it back up, and it's done. Yeah, you should buy one if you haven't had one. I try to keep, I don't really keep mine around anymore, the ones we have now, but I tried to keep one around just for people to try, but we're not having that many people over. Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about your username there, Q1C. You must be one of Elon's kids. Have you found Eagle Rare outside of California? I can't find it literally anywhere. We have it on the bottle shop. I don't love the price on it, but it is available there in case you want to get it. Eagle Rare is a distribution issue. There should be a lot more of it than there is. In some areas, it's everywhere. In other areas, you can't find it ever. It's just part of the distribution cluster that exists. Fenner says, tips on finding harder to get bottles at my local store. Do I bribe the store owner, show up at open, or something else? So here's your deal. I will tell you, and this is from talking to a lot of liquor store employees and owners. The showing up when the door is open might work, but they're not going to like you very much in the long run. They talk a lot of smack about those guys, and they automatically assume that you're flipping. So if you show up at open all the time, you may find that there are things that they won't give to you. I think the best thing, and this is individual, some places are not like that, but I think the best thing to do for finding, if you've got liquor stores and you want to get some of the better bottles from them, be loyal to a store. Get to know the owner ideally, but at least the major employees. You should know them by name. They should know you by name. And just come in, chat a little bit, buy a normal-ass bottle or a soda or a snack, and just do that. And then after you do that a little bit, you know their name, you know their name, they know your name. Then say, hey, listen, I was wondering if you had anything, maybe you guys get anything special or anything. I'd really love to, maybe get on that list. Just be nice. The next thing you know, they're going to be telling you, they will offer you things, they will hold you things, and they will take care of you on prices on things. They don't, they're playing that whole game too of maximum profitability. But if they like people, they'd rather you have them than the guy that they feel like is a jackass or is going to flip things. I mean, so they can sell to whoever they want. Elmer's 90 proves that. So Blanton's Elmer's Hancock then. Thank you. Daddy's working. Local spot like me still has Eagle Rare 10 for $50. I just listen, $40-$50 is not uncommon for Eagle Rare. It's still available on occasion for less than that. I don't even know what MSRP is now. It's probably $39. But you just don't, if you know somebody who gets a lot of it, you can get them for that, but otherwise not likely. So I got a couple questions on Instagram. Tino Juarez Jr. says, opinion on 13-year-old Fitz. Very, very special. So the old Fitzgerald Decanter series. I've had a few of the old Fitzgerald Decanter series. I do not own an old Fitzgerald Decanter series, and I'll tell you why. One, they're expensive as shit. Not always, but that's one of those bottles that people really go ham for, and it's extremely delicious. But I think the cost of those and the hype of them is about half that the whiskey is really delicious, and about half that it comes in one of the most beautiful decanters in whiskey. I have had some of the older stuff, and honestly, for me, that 10 to 15 year window is the best for old Fitzgeralds, but they can get really expensive. And I did notice that this last 10-year release was less expensive. It was good, but not amazing. And there's was quite a bit more of those. Really having a hard time talking to you. There's quite a bit more of those out there than there'd been for like the older 17, 18-year-old releases. I've not had the 13, but I would imagine that is a delicious bottle of whiskey, but is going to be overpriced most of the time. I think you'd have a hard time without a really good relationship. I do prefer Eagle Rare over Blanton's, but prefer Mash Bill 2 of the Buffalo Trace lineup. That's a tough one there, buddy. Daddy's working. It's hard to say your username every time I address you. Boy, that's really hard. I think I'm going to agree with you too. And I think that the Eagle Rare Stag E.H. Taylor mash bill, I prefer that one to the Blanton's lineup mash bill. Even though technically usually a higher rye bourbon is something that is more interesting and more complex in general, I'd like a lower rye, higher proof bourbon in general. I just, when they lean sweet, but they got that big punchy flavor to them. E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof is just, I love that. I love it so much. So I get what you're saying. Sorry, I'm Jake. Jake or Jacob is cool. Okay, buddy. Okay, listen, everybody from now on needs to change their YouTube username to their actual name, okay? New rule. I feel like when you start overpricing for whiskey older than 10 years, you're wasting money. In my opinion, sweet spot is in that 7-year mark. That brings up a really good point. Chaz, yes, I have a fair amount of Eagle Rare. One, not as much as I used to, and two, not as much as it looked like in that video that's going kind of getting some traction again on YouTube. That was a whole lot of trick photography. Maybe someday I'll break that down and show you guys how I did that. But I only had at the time maybe 10 bottles of Eagle Rare, which is a lot. But it was 6 bottles that I got from a local store from their pick that I bought all at once. And I just happened to have like another 4 or 5 that I had gotten from a pick from a buddy of mine, and a couple of bottles that I bought just because I really liked Eagle Rare. And at the time, it was really hard to find it. So when I found it, I'd buy it. And I just got lucky. I found one at Costco. I got one here and there, and I just happened to have quite a few of them. I don't have nearly that many now. I've never had that many before. It caught me in a really good spot where I had a whole bunch of it, and I just decided to have some fun with it. Right about the time somebody asked me about what my whiskey collection looks like, so it just turned into a crazy. Back to the question about whiskey older than 10 years. I will agree with you that in general, the sweet spot for bourbon for me is in that 7 to 10 range. Now, beyond that, you can get into some really fantastic, amazing things, but it's not automatic, and you can get into over oaking where it's too much oak, it's too bitter, and it's just age for age's sake. Like I was not super impressed with Pappy 23 the first time that I tried it. It's good, but I was so hyped, and with the big age statement, I thought that it was going to be killer, delicious. Definitely not worth the price, in my opinion. And I enjoyed 10 and 12 Van Winkle more just because I wanted that sweet, easy of the wheat. Angela said Spooby. Spartan Joker. Are we guessing? Screaming Titan Batch 2. Wasn't really a fan. Screaming Titan Batch 2. Oh, why not? Why not? That's interesting. I like the Redwood Empire. Well, you guys know me. I'm a little bit bias on it. What was the other one? There was another one about the age. We were talking about the age thing that I really was not. Oh, you're gonna get me. I lost track of my thought. Where the age really didn't add anything to it. It'll come back to me. Had some Armagnac recently. Haven't in years. Normally Wisconsin brandy. Maybe I'm crazy, but almost get an Armagnac brandy note on Eagle Rare 10. I mean, I can see that. Everybody's palate is different, so it's really hard for me to say that. You guys are never going to say, well, that's ridiculous. There's no Armagnac notes on Eagle Rare 10. I could see where you could get similarly sweet, rich sweet notes like dark stone fruits and cherries and things like that on both an Armagnac and an Eagle Rare 10. We were drinking an aged port the other day. My wife was sipping on it, and there are some bourbon characteristics, some similar characteristics between the two. Because if it's aged and it sat in a barrel, you can get some similar notes on it. And also you can get fruit notes. You can get fruit notes, even grape notes on whiskey sometimes, kind of depending upon the mash bill and just kind of that magic of the wood and the things that just come out naturally on their own. I see it a lot in gift Eagle Rares more than I think. Oh, more than I drink them actually. Yeah, Eagle Rare is a good gift bottle, but it's a great saver from Buffalo Trace and are easy to find by me, which is Mason. Kitsap County, Washington. Oh, nice. Daddy's working. Do you know Colby or the Kitsap Whiskey Society? Evening, peoples. What's going on, Salty One Kenobi? Cool name. I like the name. When is the Still Austin Rye Pick going to drop? Keith, that'd be a question for Colby if he's still here for Kitsap Whiskey Society. I think we're getting pretty close on that. The Still Austin Rye was a blend. It was a custom blend, not a single barrel pick. So it's taking a little longer because they have to, once we pick to the blend, the formula out, They then had to blend them, tank them, age them, let them meld together and stuff. So it's gonna take a little bit longer. But the cool thing about that bottle is, one, it's freaking delicious, and cannot wait to put that up against Tanager to see if it's better than Tanager, because it could be. That's a bold statement, but it could be. And there's going to be plenty of it, and it's not very expensive. Any news on Redwood Empire acquiring Savage and Cook? Yes, they did. They did do that, and no new news yet. It's going to be the new public tasting room and increased capacity for distilling. They did get a new. They did get a new column still that is like 7 times the capacity of their old one to be able to increase production. I do not know if they're going to put that over at Savage Cook. They may put it over there. I think they're going to put it over there. When the news, you guys, please make sure you're following me on Instagram. Better than that, become a dang patron. Join our Patreon. We're going to know when they open the tasting room. I'm hoping we're going to get to go to the soft opening, and hopefully we'll be able to extend that invitation. I do not know yet. I'm working on that with Redwood Empire. I'd love to do some kind of collaborative thing with them when they open. Sorry. There's a real moment there. My voice gets blown out doing this. It's pretty wild. Didn't seem that complex for the price. Flavor's a little muted to me. Definitely other bottles I'd buy over the Weeder. Yeah, the wheats. I will tell you, the Redwood Empire Screaming Titan wheat is not a big, bold flavor profile for sure. It's sweet. It's easy. It's soft. I like that. Oh, Kids Up Whiskey says the Still Austin's getting bottled this week. That's good. That means it's coming soon. Jonathan said something that got retracted. Or retracted on his own. I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be hard to beat Tanager, Keith. I agree. But this blend, I think it's going. I haven't tasted the final product, but it's going to be complex. It's going to be unique. It's going to be a little off in a way that what Still Austin normally puts in their ryes, but I think in the best possible way. Kids Up Whiskey does not mess around with the stuff that they pick. It could be an absolute crusher, and I can't wait. Can't wait. Interesting. What bottles are you looking forward to this year? Oh man, that's a great question. The first thing that jumps to mind is I really am hoping beyond hope that we're going to get to do our own Redwood Empire Haystack Needle pick this year. That would be amazing. I am really excited for Kitsap Whiskey's Old Elk pick. That's going to be really, really incredible. I think it's supposed to be one of the oldest and best that they've ever pulled out of a single barrel. I think it's almost 10 years old, 9.5 years old. Most of its picks, man. Let's see. So major distilleries, things that I'm looking forward to releasing. I am looking forward a little bit to find out if Tin Cup can come back with a 14er that's better this year. The batch 2 is a little disappointing because I love the batch 1 so much. It'll be interesting to see if they come back. It's going to be really interesting for me to see what happens this year with some of the regular annual releases from the major distilleries now that we've got this implied glut of a supply for barrels. Like, what is it going to do to Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, Larceny Barrel Proof, the Bookers? Are we going to see another older release of any of those? Do we get another 13-year-old or plus Elijah Craig Barrel Proof? I think the odds of that are really, really good. I don't see this year. This year could go one of two ways. And you guys, this is obviously being recorded, so we're going to put it in for perpetuity. I think that this year is going to go one of two ways. You're either going to see the major distilleries just flail around and try and hold on to this money grab environment where they continue to release older stuff. The Maker's Cellar Age is another year older. Buffalo Trace releases another 25-year-old Van Winkle, and Stag, George T. Stag is older than it's ever been, and the Eagle Rare is 20 years old. They're going to try all this crazy shit because they've got this aging stuff, hoping that we're all just going to keep buying it. Or, Old Fitz 20, crazy shit like that. Or what we're going to see is they're going to back off of that. Prices are going to start to come down a little bit, and they're going to start to realize that the one thing that they've done wrong is that they have neglected during this whole bourbon boom your everyday, normal, whiskey drinker. They're bread and butter customers. Brown-Forman, I think, has spent a lot of time. And this isn't picking on Brown-Forman. They're all this way. Brown-Forman has spent a lot of time with special releases and, the Old Forester 1924 and the this, that, and the other thing, and King of Kentucky's and all this crazy stuff. And they forgot that the majority of the profit that is made from Brown-Forman is from Jack Old No. 7. All the whiskey manufacturers are guilty of this. So I'm hoping, Kids App Whiskey just said Jack Daniel's 14. Okay, Jack, great. That appeals to whiskey enthusiasts, to people like you guys and to me that love this stuff, but the regular ass whiskey drinker that is going to keep these companies going as the bourbon thing comes down, they don't care about Jack Daniel's 14. They just don't. Let me turn on my ringer here real quick. So I think what we're going to see, what get back to my thought, I think what we're going to see, hopefully, if the other thing isn't true, is that the quality of your regular offerings are going to start to bump up a little bit, and we're going to see more of like we saw with the Russell's Reserve 10-year that had that older juice in it. Juice, I'm saying juice, Burbo, damn it. The older distillate mixed into there, so they could take some of that older stuff and start to blend it into the younger products in a way that causes the value to be good, or come up with some mid-level releases. Wild Turkey 8-year. Wild Turkey 8-year is supposed to become a standard release. I think that's very smart from Wild Turkey. If they do an 8-year-old like they do in Japan, here in the United States, standard release, they can blend in some of the older stuff, get a really, really great product, and price it out at something reasonable, say, $40 or $50, something like that. Crusher, winner. We're all going to buy it, and it'll be amazing. And your Wild Turkey customers will buy it. What does a Total Wine grand opening look like? Is it worth going in for the grand opening? I have an invitation for preview and ribbon cutting. What's it about? I would go to that, Eddie. You never know. You could get some releases and stuff, but there's bound to be something cool there. I mean, if you don't have to wait in line all night. Usually grand openings, there's limited releases that they'll hold for the grand openings. I do not know if that's true for Total Wine, but I would assume that it is. Yeah. I can't wait for the Redwood Empire tasting room to open. Since it's 20 minutes from my house, I may wander down to Mare Island this weekend to see what is happening and hopefully fried chicken. Well, I drive 20 minutes for fried chicken. I'm just saying. The Mare Island location is freaking beautiful. I cannot wait to see what they do. If all they do is move in there, take down all of the Savage and Cook bottles and put up Redwood Empire bottles, that would work. And it would crush. There's a little bit of a problem of the location over there where it's not super obvious. Like you wander around a little bit. Like it's not easy to find. Even when we had Google Maps, we kind of went around the back and then came back around and had to look around for a little bit. They'll have to figure that out, I think. Or, it could be like one big giant speakeasy and you could just follow the smell of distillation. I wish you were right about prices coming down. Unfortunately, I think they have us conditioned to paying those prices and they won't come down anytime soon. I'd like them to take down the Scary Mask art too. Yeah. I don't get the Scary Mask art. Andrew Tucker. Buddy, be optimistic. Everything in this world is driven by supply and demand. And the demand is going down. And the supply is going up. And the distillers they're adjusting. But when you have companies like Buffalo Trace increase their production 5-fold, and then the demand go down, now you get a problem. Now you can do one of two things. You can let that stuff sit and age, which fine, but you can't let all of it age, because what happens if the bourbon boom doesn't come back and now all of a sudden you got more Pappy 23 than you can sell? Now you've just destroyed this manufactured scarcity. So I don't think they're going to do that. I think it would be smarter for them to kind of marginally decrease, just chill out a little bit, rather than increasing the releases of Buffalo Trace Antique and taking away all that excitement. It's the same thing as like a car. Chevrolet builds the Chevrolet Corvette, but it builds a lot of excitement for their other models. It builds excitement for the brand, and that's what they do. Now, if they take that away by making it too available, it can really hurt the whole brand. So I think it's going to be a good thing. I mean, I think ultimately some of your bottom line stuff is not going to change. Your Jack Daniel's No. 7 is not going to get a lot cheaper, but your middle of the row stuff. I mean, look, we've already seen an example of it in Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye. I don't know the story behind that, but Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye was very limited, very hard to find. It went really big on the secondary. Now it's a standard offering. It's $69, and I see it all over the place. Fantastic. Hopefully we will see more of that. I'd like to see more of the Jack Daniel's special releases available. You know, you're talking about products that are supposed to be $79. We're always supposed to be $79 or thereabouts, and the secondary drives them up. Well, if there's just a little more around, they can sell more for $79. The manufacturer, the distillery, doesn't care if they go secondary for $200. They're not getting that money. They would get the money if they sell more of the product at a reasonable price. So we'll see. Let's do this, guys. Let's do this and see what happens. Yeah, I see more and more bottles sitting at local stores these days. Yeah, 100% that's happening. I'm seeing a lot of it too. I just went into one of the museum stores that I visit, and he started to mark his prices down. I will tell you, I think that this guy waited too long. He's a local store. He has the entire BTAC lineup. He's got a whole bunch of Pappy. He's got all of this stuff. He was asking crazy, crazy money and still is for some of it, but I think he missed his mark. I think he missed the opportunity where you could have gotten $2,000 for a Pappy bottle. He was asking $3,000. He didn't sell it, and now you can't get $2,000 no more, and he looks like an idiot. He should have sold it when he was $2,000, because pretty soon it's going to be $1,000. And when he sat there, and I'm snickering at this a little bit, some of these guys that were swinging super hard for the fences have missed the opportunity. Now the bottles are going to sit there, but they're not going to sit there for that guy to come through and pay all the money like they used to. They're just going to sit there because nobody's going to pay for them. Yeah, don't you remember the art they had hanging in the tasting room when we all were there? Reminded me of the horror movie in the Ozarks. Yeah, I do remember that. I don't like that. They'll change that. That doesn't go well with the style of Redwood Empire at all. Redwood Empire will put up, nature trees thing, John Muir stuff, and it'll be very cool. I've seen it with several other hobbies. Prices do fluctuate like gas prices, but on a much longer timeline. Yeah, gas is a little different, but yeah, all things are supply and demand. Jenny Eric, what's going on? Hey, been a while. What's the bottle in front of you? I must have missed that. These are actually the Service to America Salute bottles. The new Iwo Jima bottle and the Service Dogs edition. Nice little military tie-in. In fact, let me check while I got this up here to see. I don't know if I took that out of the bottle shop or if they sold. We're just gonna have a real live moment real quick here while I check this, because the cool thing about this is they do donate a certain amount of the bottle sales. I do not have it. I will have to put it back. I don't know if we ran out of it. That's I'm gonna have to put that back in there. We sold a couple. I just put it in there. I just don't think a lot of people know about it, but maybe if we talk about it a little bit more people know about it, and we can support a really good cause. Salute. Yeah, this is a really terrible live moment here, but whatever. You guys are good. We can handle it. I do not. Maybe it's sold out. I will have to look into it. I think we can get the Service Dogs edition bottle. Yeah, no, I'll figure that out for you guys. But these are just a really cool thing, and they just released the second one. This is a new release. The Iwo Jima bottle is a new release, but again, very, very cool. Just really cool artwork. Battle of Iwo Jima. And you'll have to forgive me. I'm trying to see if it says a certain percentage of these bottles is donated to military causes. I like the Service Dog one just because, one, I'm a patriotic person and I love America, and I like to support anything. I come from military families and police families, so I like to support this stuff. Your purchase meaningfully funds nonprofit benevolent organizations that directly support our human and canine warriors, veterans, and their families. That is freaking cool. I love this bottle. I mean, the dog in the bulletproof vest is just badass. So, sorry, long answer to a short question. Hey, Brandon, what's going on, man? Thanks for popping in. Listen, you guys stay as long as you can or as short as you can. Don't worry about it. Do you have a favorite local sack store that has some good prices? Let me move these over a little bit. Let's see where we're at here on the camera. So I can go back to that. Keith, yeah, you know what? I like Eli at Bourbon Wine and Spirits, Bourbon Wine and Spirits. I know the guys by their names. Eli here in Roseville is a great picker. He's got some really great picks. His Old Forester single barrel proof bourbons are crushers. I really like those. I've got more than one. Yeah, good picks there. CK over at NorCal Bottle Shops. I helped him with a couple of picks. His E.H. Taylor's single barrel he still has that available, right? And I think A killer E.H. Taylor single barrel. I actually got one over here. He prices them a little bit above, but you don't get too many shots of those, and it's actually a really, really good one. Better than the standard offering, I think. I don't shop at private stores up in Washington. They're literally all museums. I seen in Shelton, Washington, they're charging $71.99 for Wild Turkey 101. What? Standard turkey, nothing vintage. What? Stop it. Nobody's what $71.99. I gotta open a liquor store in Washington. You guys have a terrible tax too, though, up there. Terrible tax. Can I get one for free as a veteran? BV, I don't think that's the way that works, but you should be able to get one for. They wouldn't last very long. They'd go out of business in a hurry. Which Redwood Empire bottle is the one on the counter? A Foggy Barrel. It's a Foggy Barrel batch 2. I'm actually just sipping on that right now. I just Mike was sipping on it, so. I've been wanting to buy the Bloody Butcher from your shop since they're closing. How is it? What's the tasting notes? Wesley, I did a review of Bloody Butcher. It's on the YouTube, Instagram. It's on there everywhere. I like the Bloody Butcher. It is way better than it should be, given that it's not that old. The Bloody Butcher was the first thing that I thought about when Redwood Empire said they were buying Savage and Cook, and they're not sure if they're going to keep producing the bottles. If I was Redwood Empire, I would continue to make the Bloody Butcher from Savage and Cook. I love that bottle. I think it's one of the most underrated and under-recognized bottles that you can get. It really is quite delicious. Just doesn't get talked about. 10% is donated. Oh, that's fantastic. That E.H. Taylor is fantastic. Yes, it is, Javi. Javi's talking about our E.H. Taylor. Yeah, see, Javi, you nailed it. Not super cheap, but really, really good. So another question I got here. This is Burbo on here? I think Burbo is on here. Maybe he's not. Joe says, can you really trust Burbo's review? Dude's kind of sketch. So he's referring to Burbo's review of our Bent Distilling whiskey bonded single barrel pick, Texas whiskey. He really, really loved it. Raved about it. Said it was fantastic. Said it was a total smash. So, Joe, in this instance, I'm going to say Burbo is a very smart guy with a great palate, incredible taste. You should always listen to what he says, especially when it comes to how he feels about our single barrel pick. That being said, he is also kind of sketch. I'm just saying. I wish he was here. I mean, you guys can have, Rick, you guys can, Burbo's a little sketch, but he's also very focused, and he always keeps us on track. When we're in the Patreon Discord after parties, we go off on these crazy tangents. He's always the guy that brings us back to bourbon and whiskey, which is what we're supposed to be talking about. There's Burbo! We were just talking about you, buddy. Somebody, I don't know if you know a Joe A on Instagram, but he asked if we could trust your reviews because you're kind of sketch. I'm assuming that he knows you. If he doesn't, I'm wondering why he thinks you're sketchy. I don't know. I joke about Burbo, but in reality, he's one of the least sketchy people that I know. So I don't know what that's about. So here, one more question on the Instagram. Conrad, what's your favorite store pick bourbon? Well, it's sentimentally right now it's that Bent, just because I really enjoyed the people at Bent. The whiskey's fantastic. The price point is good, and it was just awesome to do. It's going to turn out that I'll give you guys a little hint. It's going to turn out we're not going to make a dime on that because I didn't anticipate the shipping issue coming out of Longhorn when most of our stuff comes out of SoCal. But whatever. My favorite store pick I've ever done. Well, let's see. So, favorite store pick ever. Last year I named Colby's Westward Whiskey, his original Westward Whiskey pick. I think it's 2 John Love Miles, as my favorite single barrel selection of last year. And I didn't just say that because Colby is become a friend and a partner in the shop with the Kids Up Whiskey Society. I tried that pick before there was the shop, before I knew Colby, and it absolutely is so bold and so unique and so freaking delicious that every time I sip on that damn thing, I know what it tastes like. If I go sip it right now, I will absolutely in my head go, wow. Every freaking time I sip on that thing, I go, wow. Because it's so incredible. It's so incredible. I do really love the Redwood Empires. This 14-year Haystacks, there was a pick from Lock Barrel downtown, and the Sierra Whiskey Society, incredible. He also has a Hearst Willet Juice, like 9-year, incredible. But if I had to name one right now, it'd probably be that Kitsap Whiskey Westward pick. And I'm not the giant single malt guy, American single malt guy, but that damn bottle is nuts. And no, I actually have two, if that tells you anything. And it'll take me a lifetime to get through those bottles, but you can't get them anymore. But you can buy the new Westward pick, the briefcase, the best of the briefcase. I've not tried it, but if it is anything like the one that he did before, and he says it is better, I don't know. He's a consummate salesman. But if it's anything like that one, if it's 90% of that one, you got to buy it. I'm waiting for mine to get here. I backburned myself. Lock Barrel is an incredible spot. Oh, what is something you are hunting for right now? Hey, TJ, what's going on, man? What am I hunting for right now? So, right now, I'm not really hunting for a lot of stuff because the only things that I really, and I tell you guys this, I'm going to do a video about the things that I drink that I don't really talk about too much because I was just realizing I have those, and the things that I actually collect. There's very few things that I hunt and collect. One of the things that I hunt and collect is the Macallan Harmony collection, but I have all of them up to this point, so I'm not hunting any of those. I've actually got a Harmony collection I would show you on the camera, but our new camera rig is not easy to turn around. I'll be able to take a video of it. I've actually got a Macallan Harmony box, and the 4 releases that have come out so far in the box. So I'll be hunting for those when they come out, but it's not there yet. I will always be looking for the releases that you guys want to hear about. What did I buy? I actually bought one recently. I bought a Fortaleza Still Strength. For me, it's not so much about hunting things. It's about keeping my eyes open for the things that I know you guys are going to want to know about, and grabbing them and doing videos about them so that you guys can. Yeah, I think that's what you guys want from me. But yo, what's up, DF Vando? The best of the briefcase is amazing. Yeah, Javi, you have the other. Okay, Javi, we're gonna put Javi on the spot. Javi, you have a 4 John Love Miles. Do you not? And there's a delay on this. There's a delay on the what I'm seeing, what you guys are seeing. So I'll wait a minute. Yeah, JD10. I may look out for JD10. I will not hunt a JD10. I will keep my eyes peeled for a JD10 for sure. Tooth Turtle. I'm so glad I caught this live. I'm very upset about the 50% price increase on the Mac Harmonies. Yeah, the Macallan Harmonies have gone up in price, but listen, man, everything went up in price. Glenlivet 18 is one of my very favorite everyday scotches. Used to be right around 100. Now it's 100.5. A lot of stuff from the UK has gone up a lot, but there are signs that it's coming back down. And we watched Blue Spot go up to 289 and back down to 150. So that's good. I'm waiting anxiously to see what Javi says about the best of the briefcase. Okay, Javi, tell us what's better, best of the briefcase or 2 John Love Miles? I do not have. Oh my lord, killing me with this right now. I'm going to thank you. I'm going to thank you. I'm going. I don't know. Buddy, I don't. Daddy's working. I don't. Okay. I'm not gonna drink this right now because this damn whiskey from Kitsap Whiskey has got so much. It's so freaking bold. When I try to drink it and do lives, I can't talk. It screws my voice up so bad. Tooth Turtle, I just can't do it for 44% ABV. It's not an exceptional product, and the 400 CAD is an exception. Oi! So Tooth Turtle, $400 Canadian. They're way more expensive than they are down here. I think I paid like $160 for the last one, something like that. I don't know. Oh my god, I'm having a hard time tonight. Oh, and you bought the last Macallan Harmony. How much was it? I thought it was like 160 or 170, something like that. I'm going to thank you. I still don't understand what that means. Hey, come on, Javi, you got to tell us, brother. Jesus, man, you're killing me right now. This is the 4 John Love Miles. It is a 129.7 proof, a Westward single malt, finished on Hungarian oak. It's incredible. Yeah, what's going on, Big Daddy? Well, listen, we've only been doing the lives. We went back to the YouTube. We went back to lives on YouTube here, I think last week. So we haven't been doing them. We just came back. We're working out this new format. Yeah. So thanks for joining us, man. This bottle is yeah. I'm not gonna drink it. I'm gonna smell it because it even has a cork pop after. I mean, dude, if I drink this, it will smash my palate for anything else that we have here. It's got so much damn flavor to it. It's just nuts. It's just nuts. And I don't freak out like that over whiskey very often. We actually tried it with Colby on a live call. And my reaction was so intense that the patrons were like, we want him, and we bought him out. And I don't think I've heard a single person say they regretted it. It was just incredible. Sorry, you guys. I'm screwing up on the old clicker thingies over here. They used to be $225 Canadian, now they're $350 to $400. Yeah, that's too turtle. That's because you're in Canada, brother. They've gone up here, but not that much. Chaz, do you like Glenfiddich? Now, do you see the Glenfiddich up here? Can you see the Glenfiddich? Yeah. Fancy bottle for a 14. I really do like Glenfiddich. I like to go at least to the 14, 18. Glenfiddich is light and orchard fruit, apple, that in a way that I really, really like. When I want to drink a scotch, but I just want something easy, like I don't want to talk about it. I just want to sip a nice scotch. Glenfiddich is so cheap and is so easy that I do like to have Glenfiddich around. Same goes for Glenmorangie. Just a light, easy, nice. And then the next step up from that is my Glenlivet 14 or Glenlivet 18 that I really, really like. And like the Macallans, the lighter Macallans, the 12s. And then above that is your higher strength stuff, your higher proof stuff, or more complex things. But I don't drink a lot of that. Like the Glenmorangie Signet needs more time, more consideration, more focus and concentration on it to just really, really enjoy it. Just drink it Owen style. Yeah, I don't do that often. So the Glenlivet is better than Bunnahabhain. Well, no. Let me tell you what. Let me tell you what my thought on that is. Bunnahabhain Cask Strength. It was my Scotch of the year last year, not 24 but 23. I freaking love that bottle. It's so fantastic. It's better than anything I've had from Glenlivet, but Glenlivet 18 is this beautiful balance of the things that I want in an 18-year-old Scotch. I love Macallan 18, but it's too damn expensive. Glenlivet 18 is more, it has more complexity and maturity to it than, say, like a Glenmorangie 18, which I also like, but it's not that expensive. So I think dollar for dollar, an 18-ish-year-old Scotch, Glenlivet is a great experience, a great price point, even now that it's gone up a little bit. That's why I like that one so much. But Glenlivet 18 is not better than the Bunnahabhain 12-year Cask Strength. It is not. So it just kind of depends on which ones you're comparing. Oh yeah, too, Turtle. Taxes and fees is a big part of the whole pricing game that crushes everybody, and I'm sorry, that sucks. C, did you ever try a Solera processed whiskey like the one you have in the shop? I'll buy this week from your shop for sure. I appreciate that, Vando. Yes, there's actually a lot of Solera stuff, technically. Not Castle and Key. Oh, Jesus. We went to the Stitzel-Weller Distillery, and Stitzel-Weller's primary Blade and Bow. Blade and Bow is a Solera product. All the Solera is using older whiskey into a younger blend most of the time in a non-age stated way, so that you're getting the complexity of using the older with the next one down with the next one down. So they just kind of blend them all down through time. So you're always having this older product kind of going into the casks and then them aging up from there. And it's just this cycling of older whiskey and newer whiskey to kind of keep it. I think it's really interesting. I mean, a lot of people I don't think really get into it because it doesn't have an age statement, but I think you will find that, like Westward, that Solera can give you some incredibly complex and beautiful things because of this complexity of process that goes into it. That's where Westward's Milestone is their best release, the most expensive release, their most limited release, their most sought after release, because it's a Solera. Colby was able to get a Solera bottle out of them, and I don't know how he did it, but I can't wait to try it. So are we getting an answer? Are we getting an answer from, did I miss Hobby? Sorry, I'm at work. Damn it. For John Love Miles slightly beats it, but they're super close. Both are amazing. That's good enough for me. Here comes Colby. I would tend to agree with you most days, but a couple of drops of water in the briefcase and that orange chocolate pops. We will see about that, Colby. But listen, if it's even close to for John Love Miles, it's still going to be an absolute buy for the, what is it, $115 or something. It's just not very expensive. If you haven't bought an independent bottle of Macallan, do yourself a favor. Spey malts are unreal. There's some really incredible scotches out there. Just went and grabbed a pour of unbent wheated. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the unbent wheat whiskey. The unbent straight from the barrel wheat is really something. Before I answer this last question on Instagram, Tooth Turtle, if I could only bring 2 scotch to the grave, it would be a Glenfarclas family cask and a Kilkerran 16. Tooth Turtle, I love to talk scotch, but half of what you just said is probably French to half the people watching the live. You have 20 Redwood Empire beside you. Surprised someone ain't said you're sponsored by them. I've had that implied. I will tell you, I'll tell you how many bottles I've gotten from Redwood Empire for free. 1. That's not a joke. So in all the time that we've been doing stuff with Redwood Empire, you guys, I'm not sponsored by them. I just really love them. And then our relationship with Redwood Empire has grown from my love of their stuff and just supporting them because I love them. You guys, great variety of product, all reasonably priced. They're just doing a great job. I just love them. I think they're the best of the idea of make bourbon cheap again. The Redwood Empire Pipe Dream 101 is fantastic. It's up to 15-year-old whiskey in there. The regular Pipe Dream has got 14-year-old whiskey in it. It's $29. I think we got it for $32 on the shop. It's a great bourbon for cheap.
They would sponsor you.
Yeah. I wish they would sponsor me. But I got a bottle of one of the. No, I take it back. Elliot, one of the guys over at Redwood Empire, helped me get one of the original batch 2s. I thank you for that, Elliot. Helped me get one of these old bottles. But that was Elliot, not Redwood Empire. And Redwood Empire did send me one of the small lot series. I can't remember which one it was. They sent me maybe the Foggy Burl. And I got 2 sample bottles from them, like early on. They sent me 2 small bottle samplers that I still have that are kind of neat of the small lot series. But beyond that, I bought all this. I mean, I bought all of that stuff myself. So I have almost as many bottles of Redwood Empire as you do, buddy. I know you're gonna get more than me because I'm not gonna try and keep up on all the small lot series releases. It seems like a lot for me to buy batch 2 and batch 3 of all the small lot series now that there's 4, and there's gonna be more than 4, so it's just hard to keep up on. Okay, here's a bourbon one: Old Forester Black Label 90 or 100 in the Remus Gadsby. Oh Lord, the Gadsby 8 I'd take over a Old Forester Black Label, but the 7 and the 6 I'd probably take the Old Forester Black Label 100 over. I thought I had one. Yeah, I must have moved them. I'm moving shit around all the time. The Old Forester 100 Black Label single barrels are actually really, really good. I like that proof point on that. But the Gatsby 8, I really enjoyed that Gatsby 8. Okay, Colby, thanks for coming by, brother. We're gonna have you on here soon. So keep picking great whiskey. You guys, if you want anything from Kitsap Whiskey Society, check it out on bondandbottleshop.com. If you see anything with Kitsap Whiskey Society on it, just buy it. Just buy it. If you have the funds, buy it. The talk about Glenfarclas. I still have the little sample of the batch 2 for me. Oh, Devil's Tower batch 2. Yeah, we gotta get with that, Michael. I'll switch it for something. So here we go. I did get another question on Instagram. I thought it was kind of an interesting question. I don't know if you guys would be interested in hearing this or not, but I thought it was an interesting question. What's the hardest part about being a whiskey tuber / influencer? You influence it. Well, I don't know. I guess I'm influencing you guys to be irresponsible with your budgets. I guess that is the case. Where's Tom tonight, by the way? Do you know where Tom is? I'm disappointed. Tom is usually almost always here. He must be doing something.
It's Cindy's birthday today, so.
Oh, happy birthday, Cindy! Oh, Truth Turtle said the Gadsby. I thought that the Gatsby was overpriced and underwhelming compared to a really good Remus release. The Gatsby's good, but I just didn't like a Remus Repeal 5. The Gatsby didn't offer enough over and above that to make it worth the price point for me. Now it was way better than 6 and 7. Thoughts on the Nash Tucky stuff made Fred Minnick's top 3. I am trying to see what I can do to get my hands on that. I'm super curious about that, but I've never seen it. Never seen it. He said he was in NorCal. Oh, is Tom up here? Uh-oh. We don't need another Santa surprise. Got to run when you start having guests on. Let's figure out a live I can hop on. Absolutely, Brennan. Absolutely, man. We're gonna do that. We're gonna have regular followers on and patrons. We're gonna have distillers, and we're gonna have marketing and salespeople. We're just gonna have a lot of people on to just do some cool stuff. Just talk whiskey. It's gonna be cool.
They're probably visiting Cindy's family because she's from up here.
Tom's doing family things. So, hardest part about being a whiskey tuber. That's actually, I thought about this. The hardest part about it is trying to be consistent with my opinions so that I can continue to be credible. Because it's like politics. Because listening to RFK today made me think about that. It's like politics in that just the way, because I feel about something now, the way I feel about something now is not necessarily the way I felt about 3 years ago. The whiskey that I said I really loved 3 years ago, maybe I've moved past that and I don't enjoy it as much now. And that's kind of hard because people will call you on it. And I think I'm pretty consistent. I'm pretty honest about it. But people say, hey, you said, like chicken cock, perfect example. I put in a video a while back that I would not buy, bottles I would not buy again, the chicken cock bourbon and rye, the standard bourbon and rye. We're actually doing a chicken cock barrel pick in March. That conflicts a little bit. But it was because after I said that, and chicken cock was fine. I like the chicken cock bourbon and rye. They're delicious. It's fine. It's good stuff. After I did that, they reached out to me and said, hey, you got to give us another shot. Those are not the best of what we have to offer. We don't want you to judge our company based on those products. Let us try to send you something else. I got the small batch. Really good for the money. I got the Chanticleer. Nuts. I love this bottle. It's a cognac finish. It's fantastic. It's expensive, but it's fantastic. I would not have tried those bottles if it had not been for Chicken Cock reaching out from Chicken Cock saying, hey, what about you give us another shot? I had a conversation with them, tried some other stuff, and now we're going to go do a barrel pick in March. That's a 180 in direction, but there's a good reason for it. There's a story. So that's been a little tough sometimes, and some people are jackasses. But I have the beauty of going block, delete, restrict. I love it when people want to talk shit to you on your own channel. If you want to talk shit about me online, you got to do it on somebody else's channel. Because if you do it on my channel, I have control over it. So I can just make you look silly or block you or just not deal with you or whatever it is. But for the most part, everybody is really freaking cool. So it doesn't matter. Do I still love Garrison Brothers? Yeah, Chaz, I really, really do. I can't. I know I'm congested right now. I'm getting dried out. So in the same way that when I try Westward and I go, wow, every time I drink it, whenever I drink Ladybird, it kind of does the same thing to me. It has this boldness and complexity to it because of the steps that they took. You have the Texas bourbon that's really, really bold anyway, and then they got the honey infused like honeydew, and then you cognac finish it, and then it's at 114 proof. I really do love this. I get why Garrison Brothers is not for everyone. I get it. Some people do not like it. It's very specific in its profile. It leans into the Texas terroir, so it's got that funk because it's wheat and it's got all these things going on. But I love it. I still love it, and I can't wait to try the new stuff this year. The new Cowboy Bourbon, the new Laguna Madre, the new Ladybird. I'm in for all of it. I'm absolutely in for all of it, and I'm still looking for that Garrison Brother High Rye. If anybody sees one of them damn green bottles and it's not $1,000, let me know. If you see a Garrison Brother green wax high rye sitting on a shelf someplace, buy it. I'll take it. I'll take it. Just don't go crazy on the bonus. What's my favorite Redwood Empire release and why? Well, I will tell you that the one that I am happiest about is Redwood Empire 101. I'm so happy to see them doing that just for what it means for the company. It's a fantastic bottle. I really love it. The price point and building out a vertical to get some more recognition. But drinking wise, I love to drink Screaming Titan. I'd love to see them do a cast strength of that. This Haystack Needle 14 is the most delicious Redwood Empire that I've had. It's absolutely fantastic. Subjectively, it's the most delicious bottle that I've had from them. But I'm much more excited about the things that they're doing going forward with their own distillate that's getting older, the new identity that they're building. I just think all of that stuff is super exciting. So even though that one is the most delicious one that they've put out that I've ever had, it's not the one that I'm most excited about. It's not my favorite because I can't wait to see what they do next. When I did a blind, I think Pipe Dream cast strength or Emerald Giant cast strength actually won. There's a video on that on YouTube where I did a blind of like 10 other things, and that was the one that won, much to my chagrin. But it is what it is. I had the first Cowboy 3 weeks ago. It's a pretty good $200 whiskey, not a $450 one Canadian. That's a $250 whiskey here. And it's absolutely bold. It's absolutely delicious. It is expensive. I will give you that. If Cowboy Bourbon was $150, but it's just not. It's just not. It's so good.
You missed the question.
The cognac one?
Daddy's working.
So is a cognac Armagnac finish the same as a cigar blend? I'm still fairly green. There's no Daddy's working. That's a great question. There's no legal definition of a cigar blend. That's just something that they made up. I don't know if Nancy Fraley made it up or if she just has become the queen of it. But a cigar blend, it has been in the past a blended whiskey that is cognac, Armagnac, port finish, those kind of things to kind of build this big, bold, sweet, flavored whiskey to offset a cigar. And that's kind of where it came from. But it's now changing. Even Nancy Fraley did the Tanager, which is not finished in anything. It's just 3 different corn-heavy bourbon mash bills blended together into something that stands up against a cigar. A cigar blend is more of a feel. It's something that's got some complexity and some boldness to it. It has a feeling of class and style. That's kind of what it is universally kind of become. But then you have something like this, Whiskey Wars Cigar Cask, that is nothing like any of those things. This one is finished in Amburana barrels. It's a tropical fruit note filled deliciousness, but it is called a cigar cask. So there's no real definition of cigar cask or cigar blend or cigar finish. It's just it's really a marketing gimmick. Unfortunately. Like small batch. Doesn't really mean anything. Where are we at here? Let's see. Where can we get a 14-year Redwood Empire? It looks like unobtainium. Yeah, it was released quite some time ago. And as far as I know, the only place you could actually try it or get a pour of it is Locked Barrel in Sacramento. He still has them. So you can call and get a pour. But you can't buy bottles at any place that I know of. Oh, yeah. Kenny, you got to try those Garrison Brothers. I'd be interested to know what you think about that. I think Garrison Brothers really is for a more experienced whiskey drinker. I would never have anybody start at Garrison Brothers. You might like it, but it might also turn you off to whiskey entirely. It's just so different than anything else. There's nothing. Garrison Brothers is not like anything else that I have here. In the hundreds of bottles of whiskey around here, Garrison Brothers is one of those ones that I would be willing to bet if you pour me a Garrison Brothers blind, I could tell you that it's a Garrison Brothers just because they're so specific and unique. Besides the Laguna Madre, which is different and very subtle and quite delicious. Where are we at? Okay, I would love to see a Screaming Titan cast strength. I would too, Mike. I would love to do a pick of that. Listen, do like this. They have not said, I do not know this, but I would not be surprised to see a weeded mash bill go into a single barrel pick at some point. I just don't think they're as old as the ones that they're using right now, which is the Grizzly Beast, oh my God, why am I I'm having a terrible time tonight. So Grizzly Beast, Rocket Top, and Devil's Tower mash bills are the ones they're using for the single barrels this last year, but they could easily expand that. I mean, to anything that they have. I just don't think that all the single barrels were at least 8 years old, and I don't know that they have any weeded mash bill that old yet, because that was kind of a Lauren Patz thing. Mike is my Two Turtle. Last question from me. Do you have a collection of tater stuff? You're my favorite whiskey tuber guy, but I never see you get those killer bottles laid in your lap like everyone else is on here. Two Turtle, that is a great question, buddy. What's up, Old Pirate Bourbon? I do have tater bottles. I got tater bottles like everybody else. I just don't. One, I'm not a giant tater guy. I like to taste them. I want to try them. So, like when the King of Kentucky's come out, or the Buffalo Trace Antiques, or any of those things come out, I have tried many of those because I want to taste them. I'm super curious about it. But typically, my approach to it is, and I have, like I said, I have some. When the new Thomas Handy comes out, and I talk to my bottle guy, and he's like, "Hey, I got it. You can get it." There's two things that happen. One, I don't really want to pay the money to get it. I don't want to pay the $600 or $700, whatever it is. If I see them at MSRP, of course I'll buy them. But two, the other thing is, there's someone out there that wants that bottle more than me, that will pay the $600, will pay the $800, whatever it is, to get it. Let that person have it. I want them to have it. I'm not going to make fun of them. Go do what you want to do. Buy the bottles you want to buy. The people that spend $1,000 on King of Kentucky, more power to you. It's a friggin' delicious bottle of whiskey, and I'm so happy every time I get a chance to try it. But I'm not going to go spend $1,000 on King of Kentucky. I'm just not going to do it. But I'm a giant geek for buying it straight from the barrel, from E.H. Taylor straight from the barrel. I do have an E.H. Taylor rye barrel proof. I haven't cracked that open yet because I'm worried I'm going to be disappointed. But I got tater bottles like everybody else. I don't like to talk about stuff that are super hard for most people to get. I think you missed speaking about the bottles to my right. These are the, I didn't, it's just been a minute, you just missed it. These are the Salute to America service bottles, the War Dogs bottle and the new Iwo Jima bottle from Heritage Distilling. Really, really cool military themed charity based bottles. I just got them in the bottle. I opened a box today. I didn't know what was in it. That was in it. I'm going to do reviews of those and talk about those soon because I want people to know about these. Where do I get one of those bitchin' hoodies? This is the whiskey hoodie from whiskeybondageshop.com. I'm stumbling my words over my words bad today. Whiskeybondageshop.com is where you can get all of our gear, including the Make Bourbon Cheap again. So do you love Cooper's Craft 100 as much as everyone else, straight up or mixer? I do. I do love it, straight up. But I love it when it's just here. When you guys ask me about a bottle, I just got it. I do love it straight up because I'm a big old Forester fan. And I think that is a really amazing value bottle. Thanks to Chef Chris for the assist on that. Cooper's Craft 100, I wish I could get that in the shop. I think that's one of the best values in whiskey. I really love it. I would substitute my Smoke Eye in Bardstown for a Haystack. How am I going to do that? I mean, if you want to wait till the end of the year... Haystacks are pretty much sold out everywhere. Although, Jeff, if you remind me, I may run over and check if CK still have them. He may have one still. So we could probably do that. Does Wild Turkey 12 you have shipped from Japan or from the States? It's from the States, brother, and it's not in a box. So it ships from California. Handy isn't good. I don't like mine. It's too young. It doesn't have the BTEC class like the aged ones. I actually like Handy. I actually like Handy a lot. It's interesting that you say that. I do know it is the least popular of the BTECs, and it's the one that goes for the smallest amount of markup. So you're probably more right than me on that. Holy cow, I totally want that Iwo Jima bottle. Yeah, Kenny, I just got this from Heritage Distilling. I may see these in the shop eventually. It's a new release. He just got it out, so they will be available. I'll let you know. They're not going to be very cheap, but they're a good cause, and it's a cool freaking bottle. I'm going to be popping that one open, but I may actually hang on to the War Dog one. I don't know. You gotta hold it there for a minute. Yeah, I know. It says aged 5 years, 35 in dog years. Yeah, it takes a second for it to adjust, but I'm on a delay, so I don't know how long to hold it there, if it's focusing or anything. I just got to put it up there and hope for the best. Yeah. Anyway. How did you get your Redwood Empire tubes? Dan, officially the question that I get the most. There's a question. What question do you get the most? Hey, what's going on with the Redwood Empire tubes? I should take those down. Just I'm feeling bad because I can't get them anymore. It was a limited release marketing item from Redwood Empire a few years ago. I actually saw them in a video that somebody else posted, and I reached out to Redwood Empire. I was like, dude, what's up with the tubes? I want a tube. And they're like, yeah, we got a few left. And they sent me a whole bunch of them. We gave them away to the patrons. And then I was talking about something else, and they're like, hey, we found some more. And they sent me a bunch more of them, to the point where someone reached out to Redwood Empire and asked about the tubes. And they said, Redwood Empire said, yeah, you got to talk to Whiskey Bonnet about that. so I will give you a hint. There is one set of the tubes left that we're going to give away, but it'll be to the patrons at some point. So I have my set. Mrs. Whiskey Bonnet has her set. And there is one of the, I can see them on the floor over there. The rest of them, we have given them all away in giveaways. We gave them away to people that bought things in bottleshop.com. That was really cool to send those out. So I have a complete set of 3 left that will go to somebody in the Patreon at some point in the future. So there you go.
It says when he was there last week, CK still had a few haystacks.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. So we may be able to...
You might want to repeat that.
Jeff, yeah. So Jeff, Michael is saying that CK still has some haystacks left. So Jeff, please message me, man. Message me right now. Message me. And I will check on that for you. Actually, I was talking to CK about helping me get the Smoke Eye Hill that you wanted. So if you want to do that instead, we can probably do that. Yeah, we could probably do that. What state are we from? California. From California. I'm not from California. We're in California. No box, but the bottle is worth it. It's the best price for the Turkey 12-year out right now. Yeah, listen, I would love to be able to offer Wild Turkey 12-year for the, I don't know, 50 or 60 bucks you can get it in Japan for. It is not possible. It cannot be done. The price we have it for in the Bonnet Bottle Shop is as cheap as anybody has it for, but it does not have the box. So if you want Wild Turkey 12-year, the Bonnet Bottle Shop is the best place to get it. It's a really reasonable price. If you want it so you can collect it with the box, do not buy it from my store. I do not have boxes. It's not that. It's not the boxed up one. It's just if you want to drink 12-year and try it out, it's really good. Michael, I need a tube. Make sure you're a patron. Watch out for that giveaway, brother. It's the only way you're going to get one right now. I'm pretty sure I have the entire remaining world supply of other than ones we gave out. There are a lot of them out there. What are we all drinking tonight? Switch to Barrel Batch 36. Great stuff. Agreed. I love barrel stuff. We actually have barrels. I thought I was going to get the Barrels Foundation Double Oak. That should be here tomorrow or the next day. I'll be doing a review of that pretty soon. I'm excited for that one. It's the second release of their Foundation series. It might really step it up. We're going to see. I could use a second set. Of course I'm a patron. Of course you are, Mike. That's how you knew we were down at the... I think it might become... No, I know. Mike was already there. It was oh, Lord. Blade. Blade became our new patron at the event that we did down here in Sacramento. We are going to do another local event here in the area at some point. We got to get through this barrel pick trip in March that we're doing with the patrons. Get through that, and then we'll start talking about doing another local event. I'd like to do something down at Prohibition. Right? What's the whiskey bar up in Spokane? Prohibition, right? Do we went to up there?
Go back to Spokane.
Anyway, no, there's one here in the south of here in the valley. Someone's got to know what it is. Sipping my birthday Kansas City pick, 11-year veteran anchored in Pride pick. It was PSNS Bremerton, Washington. Oh, PSNS. I got my best friend works at PSNS. I can't tell you his name because it's top secret, high clearance. Yeah, he's a director, a project manager or something. What's the next barrel pick after March? So Beefy, we don't have any barrel picks scheduled after March. Neither does Kitsap Whiskey right now because Colby and I were talking, and the one thing that we agree on right now is we do not know where the bourbon market is going to go just yet. So we had a whole lot of picks in the pipeline. I think we have like 4 more that we have coming for Whiskey Bonded, and Colby's got like 5 or 6 more coming this year. And we've decided to hold because we want to kind of see what happens. And we don't want to get overstocked with a bunch of stuff. So we really want to make sure. So you guys, please do your part and just invest the $65 to buy the bent single barrel pick from a Bonnet Bottle Shop at the least. Check out Colby's picks. Try and support us the best that you can. Tell your friends. Tell somebody else about it. Say, hey, this thing is really good. Check it out. Try it. The bent is reasonably priced. We just want to make sure we sell through the things that we have, and we'll continue to do picks. I would love to just blast through picks right and left. But we want to be calculated about them, especially if the bourbon market really does contract in a way that barrel picks are just, there's too many of them. You can't buy everybody's barrel picks. And we want you to buy ours, but we also don't want to get in a position where we're constantly asking patrons to buy everything that we do. We're inundating everybody with the shop. We want it to be measured and such. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I'm very optimistic about where the bourbon market is going this year. I'm not as pessimistic as everybody else. I even in a Discord after party jumped and bought some Brown-Forman stock. I think everybody's being way too pessimistic about where it's going. You guys, the bourbon market is correcting from its highs. It's still huge. Sales volumes are still historically strong. If you look at a graph of it, it goes really up like this and it's coming back down, but it's still not where it was, a few years ago. It's still higher than it was a few years ago. We just had this giant boom and it couldn't last forever. It had to correct, and it is correcting. But I do not have any reason personally to believe, based on what I see and what I'm hearing, what I'm reading and people I'm talking to, that suddenly whiskey is going to come crashing down. I just don't think that's going to happen. If everybody adjusts the way that it seems like a lot of companies are, we're just going to adjust to kind of a new equilibrium, and then things are just going to truck along good. But the good news is that means we're not going to have release after release after release of $300 whiskey. It's not going to be this crazy. Everybody's paying over. It's gonna chill out, and that's a good thing, I think. Yeah, the COVID whiskey boom is over. That was a weird freaking thing. I just ordered 2 bottles of Heritage Distilling 2 Iwo Jima on their website. $95 each, $19 shipping. And you order 2, it comes with a free lithograph. Okay, that's freaking cool. Heritage Distilling's website. Michael, do you have that with the everybody can look it up, but I'll be drinking Iwo Jima. I will be drinking Zima again. Everybody will be drinking Zima again in 2028. God, I hope that's not true. Have you had a Zima? It's really not good. Oh, I'm going to punch you. Dude, I can't find the barrel ice wine cask in Roseville anywhere. Oh, where have I seen the ice wine cask? That is a good question. The problem is that release kind of came and went. I'm guaranteeing those are around somewhere. You know what? I'm gonna punch you if you email me, so that I remember. I'll keep an ear to the wall for that. Wow, that's really cool. Which is my favorite Redwood Empire? Dan, have you had Redwood Empire? If you haven't had Redwood Empire, buy a 101 and try it. A Pipe Dream 101 and try it. They're all fantastic. You really can't go wrong, dollar for dollar. So thoughts on Penelope? It's very popular here in North Carolina. So I really kind of went to a spot where I really liked Penelope, and I was drinking a fair amount of it. I like the 4-grain cast strength. The architects are really good. I got a little turned off by the Rio because the Amberana was just, and it was then some of those finishing series ones got too expensive. The Valencia I think is really good, but was overpriced. That's why we dropped them in the bottle shop for a cheap price, because I wanted people to be able to try it at a price that made sense, because it was too expensive to roll the dice on in most places. But this Havana, I have not had it yet. Somebody keeps asking that question because we got an email alert that there was going to be a bunch of them for the shop. Then I got an email that said, well, we're not going to get as many as we thought. So I had to peel back a whole lot of orders. We kept the orders together for the patrons, but that order still hasn't come in yet. Hopefully it will be there soon. I really wanted to try it, but I relinquished mine for somebody else. We'll see what happens. Hopefully I'll get it soon and be able to tell you. There is no Havana in California that I know of yet so far. But I've heard it's really good, and I like a rum finish. So I'd be all about that, I think, for a reasonable price. I think I'd be all about the Havana. I think we dropped them for like 70 something. I mean, if they're 70, 80, 90 bucks, it's worth trying, I think. But Penelope now is bought out by freaking MGP. So I don't know what's going to happen with them. Seems like it's going to be okay because this new release has got positive reviews and it's been pretty hyped. So Fenner, any of the cast finishing series from Barrel are made, released, and then done. They don't redo them. They're a limited release. So you got to kind of grab them when they come out. The iced wine ones, though, they bake them in pretty decent volume. You're just going to have to watch. They're probably the only ones you can get now are probably sitting someplace or some online stores. I couldn't get any for the shop. I wanted to, but couldn't get any. But you're gonna have to look around, man. I will tell you if I see them somewhere. I'll post it. Oh, if you're not a wrench. Okay, sorry about that. Well, Heritage Distilling. I'm sure you can figure it out. Heritage Distilling. Where's the? Maybe hold on. I got it right here. Maybe we can give them a little shout. This says saluteseries.com. So SALUTE series.com. Saluteseries.com. I don't know if you can see that or not. This is really hard. I'm really going to have to get used to this. Yeah, you guys please check it out. It's a good cause. I have no idea if the whiskey's good or not. I've not tried it. I'm going to do that. But listen, even if it's not that good, you can feel good about your purchase. And no, I'm not getting paid by them. I don't get any cut. The guy was just really cool. He reached out to me. I talked to him for a little bit, and he was like, I'd really like to send you my new release. I'm like, please. Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm all for supporting military police and the like. Got my Valencia in the bottle shop. It's great. Yeah, I didn't... Rick, I appreciate that, man. If I don't get a bottle, I will absolutely take you up on that because I want to be able to review it. But, it's hard. It's hard to review sample bottles. Did you see that when Roseville's Total Wine rearranged the store, they put out like 10 new barrel picks? Apparently, they just found a bunch in the back. Sure they did. Sure they did. No, I got to go out to... When did they rearrange it? Have we been there? Not been there that long? We were there recently. I found a ton of ice wine at Total Wine Valencia Magic Mountain. Oh, in a certain store. Yeah, Total Wine is definitely a good place to check for barrel. They do carry a lot of barrel bourbon company stuff. So it's a good place to pick. But any place that carries the standard barrel stuff will get some cast finishing series. You just got to kind of watch for it. Hopefully they won't mark them up. They usually don't. But like I said, send me an email and I will kind of keep an eye out for things like that. They just did it. This is the beginning of the year. It's completely rearranged. Have we not been back? Have we not been there since the beginning of the year?
We have.
Oh, they were rearranging stuff. Remember, because the tequila case was gone. Okay, yeah. So I think we were there in the middle of it, and we haven't seen the final thing. I got to see some of the last few weeks. Oh, tequila and bourbon switched places. Tequila's trying to take over, man. Tequila's trying to make a move. I mean, we're even going to do some tequila stuff. Ever since I got that damn Lalo high proof. Ugh, man, it's just delicious. Oh, my puppy's laying right here behind me under my wheels. You guys, so let's see. We've been going. How long have we been going here? What time is it? 8 o'clock. So we're gonna call it. Yeah, I gotta go check it out. I had that memorized. I could just about tell you what bay everything was in, and I could probably go down the right side and the left side and tell you where everything is by brand too. But now they moved it around, so I guess I'll have to go in and re-memorize it. So guys. Thank you for coming out. You guys are in the early days of this whole YouTube live thing, and I'm really hoping we can get the YouTube live to get a much broader viewership. It seems to get a little bit more each week, but you guys please tell somebody about it. Share it when you can. Hit the whole like thing, the whole like, comment, subscribe thing before you go. I know that it helps, and we're gonna start to get better about trying to let everybody know about a schedule and get up. Hey, tomorrow, and yada yada blah blah blah. We'll advertise a little more once we get guests on and all that stuff. So we're still early in this thing. I think it's working pretty good. We just don't get the same viewership as the TikTok, but I'm kind of getting over the TikTok. Who knows what's going to happen with it anyways. But you guys, thank you very much. Patrons, to the Discord. Everybody else, we'll see you back here next week, 6:30. Hopefully we'll have a guest. I will put a word out on if we get that figured out and who the guest is going to be. And you guys can come by. Maybe we're going to be sipping a little something together. Maybe Whiskey Bonnet Jr. will be back. Maybe he won't. Depends on if he decides to get an attitude.
Back, whether or not he'll be here.
Yeah, well, if he gets an attitude with his mom, he may not be here. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much. And for the guys, for the couple of you that made little chat donations, I appreciate that. We turned off the revenue this week just to make it a little better for everybody. But let me tell you something: when the viewership gets back up again, we got to turn that revenue back on. We got to pay for all of this shit. But you guys, thanks for coming by. I appreciate you so much. See you guys next week, 6:30, same time. Where's my dang